I'm getting ready to make bread pudding. What I did was I got a loaf of that. Wait a second, I'll show you the bread that I put in. The cinnamon and raisin bread. Okay, it's sweet bread. Thomas swirl, cinnamon swirl. Anyway, I took a loaf of that. Next thing I add is 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Next thing I put in was 3/4 of a stick of butter. I melted it a little bit because it should be melted, but the piece in there is soft enough that I can blend it in. That's the next thing I put in. Next thing I'm going to put in some evaporated milk and a can of fruit cocktail, but when I drain it, you don't want the mixture to be too liquidy. Okay, the mixture is all ready. Let me just show you how the texture should be. I didn't put the whole can of milk. I put half and half of the cup of the fruit cocktail. It should be like this. You see how nice and moist, but it's not too runny and it's not too thick. It's just perfect. Okay, now it's ready to go in the oven. In the pan, you have to spray it because it does stick if you don't spray it. So I used to spray it instead of, just rubbing it with butter. And I also put 1/4 cup, or you could put 1/2 cup, as many as you want, of raisins. If you want to put rum in it, in the mixture, you can. I chose not to. I just left it alone with just the vanilla. And it's got a little bit of cinnamon from the bread that I use. Now I'm going to put it in 350 for as long as it takes to cook. Bye. Okay, it's already done. And if you feel it, it's nice and firm. It cooks for about 1.5 hours. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to get real 100% pure maple syrup. Put a little bit in a cup. And you're just going to brush a little bit on. This will give it a nice glaze with no corn syrup or anything like that artificial. This is real maple syrup. And that's it. And you let it cool and then you serve it. But you see, you just brush it on lightly. This is just to give it a nice glaze.